Hello and welcome back. Before we get into this, first I'd like to wish everyone good health. Please stay safe and take care of yourself, and we will overcome all difficulties that we have in the world right now. Well, now on to the Eve topic. Well, I did miss a couple important updates, a couple important developer updates, and that I personally think that are pretty important. And first off, the release date is still the same. The delay pretty much will not hinder the release for a very long time. At top, we're looking at, my personal guess would be 2 to 3 weeks delay at most. So the game might even launch somewhere around this summer, with a slight hope of that happening. And there are also some important news regarding the structures that will be in Eve. One of them is a player-built single-player structure, which people kinda like and dislike at the same time. We will see how they will pretty much roll that out. If you ask me, personally, I think that might be interesting, especially if we can attack it. If we can attack them, then you can definitely expect me to be one of the first players to actually do that. So that's gonna be really interesting. Now here on the screen you'll also see a couple windows here and there, so that you can read pretty much what I'm reading here yourself if you want. And there are also a couple interesting statistics that I want to show you regarding the open beta, which I personally think that are really interesting. And it actually shows the commitment that the players had to Eve Echoes, and I personally think we're in for a good game when it gets released. Everything pretty much tells me that we are on the way on a good game. We will see how they will pull that off. So here the old pretty much update from the developers. Pretty much they're telling us about the official release, and that pretty much says that it's gonna be delayed, but thankfully the situation there improved a lot, and the development pretty much wasn't delayed that much. Like I said, my personal guess is 2 to 3 weeks delay at most. We will of course see if that will be the case. There is also still some uncertainties to it, but again, I expect, my personal optimistic guess would be around summer. Maybe midsummer. We're talking about maybe July. That's my guess. July, August, we might see the game come live. There might be also some beta tests, but they're not highly likely. That is a big maybe if they will release more tests. But my optimistic feel tells me that they might release tests in the future. Who knows? Maybe the game will be eventually soft launched in a open beta and slowly progress into the finished product. That is also the possibility that might happen. We still don't know what the developers will do. Personally, I did play a couple other NetEase games. Personally, some beta games, some beta tests. They usually like to put the game in open beta before going full release. At least the games that I played were treated that way, and that's pretty much, I think, a good thing. The hype for the game still is there, I think. Still, the Eve Echoes is definitely the best game of its genre on mobile so far. Second Galaxy doesn't come even close to Eve Echoes. I personally can't even play Second Galaxy because of all the difficulties that come with the game, which I don't want to talk about here right now, but who knows, maybe I'll talk about them in some time in the future. But Second Galaxy overall, if you play Second Galaxy, that's okay. I mean, if you enjoy the game, that's okay. I personally tried the game out a couple times, and I have problems with that game, especially the restrictive nature of the game is what keeps me from playing Second Galaxy, and that's what makes me even more excited for Eve Echoes, since that game is pretty much what most of us actually wanted. And of course, we will see how the developers will pull that out. Now, of course, there are also a couple updates which came on March 9th, and of course that was almost 3 weeks ago. Yikes, I'm super late, I know, like 20 days ago. And well, better late than never. So you will see the text on screen in a moment, but I'll start now. So they said, "Dear pilots, the Eve Echoes team has resumed intense development after the Chinese New Year holiday to stick with to our objective to become more transparent with our lovely players. Let's have a look at what we have endeavored in the past 2 months. Open beta suggestions and feedback. We have received nearly 800 valuable suggestions and feedback from Eve Echoes OBT community, and out of 800, more than 400 are now incorporated and optimized within the game, which is perfectly, that's actually good progress. We will spare no effort until we have dealt with and resolved all the remaining feedback. Offline autopilot, something that's interesting. The offline autopilot feature has finished development. Our developers have made the subsequent adjustment to the navigation logic of the spaceship, so players can now continue autopilot with the game closed. However, players should be aware that offline autopilot can make you an easy prey for pirates. For me, for example. Corporation, our most anticipated feature, the corporation is now moving full speed in the development process. On the other hand, classic elements from EVE Online, including taxes, corporation wallets, and corporation hangars, will make a comeback in EVE Echoes, with the emphasis on simplification and utility optimization. Interesting. Capsuleer Outpost. Introducing the Capsuleer Outpost, one of the exclusive contents of EVE Echoes that we are currently working on. Unlike space structures in EVE Online, the Capsuleer Outpost is a private structure designed for single players. Okay, and a suitable foothold as you pioneer the new frontier. Well, as you can see there, we have some interesting little contents over here. The Capsuleer Outpost, like I said, I've read that it can be attackable, so that means we are going to be able to shoot it down. Of course, if it's in low sec or null sec, that's gonna be interesting. The materials to build a Capsuleer Outpost will probably be the material requirements of battleships, or even greater than battleships, since it's an outpost. I expect those outposts to be somewhat, well, I guess I expect them to be quite sized, because it's an outpost, and the material requirements are going to be probably appropriate for a structure of that size. Corporation, well, pretty much, you know, EVE Online corporations, how they work. We're gonna get something similar in EVE Echoes. Of course, it might be simplified and limited in the start, but I can definitely see that becoming more popular, and that becoming, as time progresses, more advanced and advanced. And offline autopilot, which I think, that's gonna be fun. I personally can't wait to catch AFK players who are traveling. That's gonna be fun. I definitely can sense the salt. And of course, there are some interesting little, like I said, graphs that you can see right now on the screen, which pretty much gives us statistics of what happened during the open beta test. And I can tell you, judging by those statistics, I can definitely tell you that the players were actually committed to the game, and that's something I personally liked. It's something that's on mobile so far we haven't seen that much. Like, I know we have tryhards in PUBG, Fortnite Mobile, and we have tryhards in ARPGs, tryhards in what they call MOBAs, and tryhards in games like this, but something of a, I guess, unity so far we haven't seen on mobile, definitely, besides on EVE Echoes, and that's what I'm personally excited about. It's gonna be really interesting, since you know, all of us pretty much know the EVE Online community, and those people are definitely really interesting people, and it's gonna be interesting to see how we will compare EVE Online on PC and EVE Echoes on mobile, how the communities will pretty much interact with each other, or what the differences between the communities will be. I personally expect around the same. Of course, we will have, besides the hardcore EVE players, we will be having other newcomers. The newcomers I like to call free kills, right? I mean, that's pretty much what I did. Okay, let's not talk about my PvP history in EVE Echoes. I think I'm there on the higher end of kills per deaths in that game, in the open beta test. No, not flexing, just saying. I shot down too many players, just saying. Too many players I shot down in Echoes. And when we are on the theme of PvP, well, here we can see the statistics of the Serpentine Traitor event battle report. 1 battleship, 79 cruisers, 79 battle cruisers, 495 cruisers, 144 destroyers, 263 frigates, 1 battleship, okay, You can see those involved and those who were lost. Definitely biggest clash in Ivecos on mobile so far. And top 10 popular ships: Caracal Navishu, Vexor Navishu, Caracal Omen, Stabber Fleet, like those, and the Worm. Yeah, of course the Worm. Well, as you can see, the Caracal Navishu was pretty much the most popular ship there. And top 10 lost ships, of course, as expected. Caracal Navishu and Vexor Navishu are the top 2, or should I say, along with the Caracal. Definitely interesting little statistics there. First kill, oh my god, I know these people. GG to them, they were fantastic players. Top 10 damage, unfortunately I'm not here. Because, well, I had couple issues with salt and stuff like that. But GG to all of these players, that fight was amazing. And most valuable lost, a Barghest. Oh my god, okay. If I lost that ship, I would be quitting the game right then and there. But then again, as you can see, the statistics is definitely promising. The servers were crying, that's true. The battle at Kedama, it's pretty much recorded. I have it on my channel, pretty much the whole fight. It is definitely, I think personally, the biggest fight on mobile so far. Literally, like, on a mobile game, that's pretty much the largest confrontation. Or maybe I'm wrong, maybe Second Galaxy has that title, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't play that game that much, and I personally don't count Second Galaxy as a game at all. But anyway, I am not in that statistic of lost ships. I am one of the survivors, let's say that. I survived from start to finish, and I was pretty much in most of the developers' kills actually, which I can say I'm proud of because I survived from start to finish. I was flying, what was it called? The little ECM frigate. Well, it doesn't matter, it's an armor frigate, which specializes in energy drain, I think. It doesn't matter. After that I switched to the Rifter, and after the Rifter I was trolling and I switched to the Velator, or to the Corvette. But that's for the statistics enough. Really interesting statistic. Of course, you can pause the screen and, well, you can pretty much read if you like. Now on to the little more serious stuff. Now here you definitely see the anomaly region, like data report for the anomalies and regions, and all of these, you see the blue bars, right? Well, all of these are quantities, and below that are the regions. And the most populated region was definitely Lonetrek, so far that I can see on the graph over here. And of course the graph is too small to be readable on the screen, unfortunately, because they made this in such a high resolution. Crazy, actually. Battle Abnormal Cleaning. Interesting little name there. Advanced Battle Abnormal Cleaning above Tech 5. So these are pretty much anomalies and tech levels of anomalies that people were doing. Again, people were extremely active at anomalies, I can confirm that. I killed around 100 players plus in anomalies. I know, I'm not even joking, like, I killed too many players. Unfortunately, I didn't record all of it. Some of them, the majority actually is... but when I went back and when I actually looked at all the videos that I did and pretty much all the data I had, I killed more than 100 players without recording, so I think I did a really scary job at PvPing in the game when it was actually alive, or should I say when it was released, or in the beta. Mining belt clean. Oh, okay. Again, Lonetrek is definitely there for 148,000. Okay, 148,000 kills, or should I say players. And we have also other stats: advanced mining belts, cleaning above Tech 5, and, well, interesting little anomalies. So we have combat anomalies, we have mining anomalies, which I personally never saw because I didn't mine. I can't mine, like, that's too boring for me. And we have also bases, anomaly pretty much all. Like, we have Tech 1 Grista base having the biggest number at 95,000. Angel Base 1 at 42,000, second place, and Blood Raider Base 1 at third place, or no, sorry, actually no, I'm okay. Interesting little graph over here. Grista base 1 first, Serpentis base 2nd, Sancha base 3rd, Blood Raider base 3rd. Okay, interesting little statistic. And people didn't do a lot of the higher I guess bases and higher anomalies, because most of them were hidden in low sec, and going there was risky because of players like me who were hunting. Oh my god, I already missed the PvP in this game. I will do PvP in EVE Online, but my PC is bad and I just cannot risk lag. You know, if you lose your ship, your ship is gone, right? And I don't want that happen to me. And but I can definitely see the anomalies getting more popular in the release. I see some like 3 and 5 only cleared. I mostly was clearing the anomaly 5, 6, 7 and 8, and definitely I can see myself in some of these graphs. And we have common abnormal cleaning, and we have inspector cleaning, which are also really interesting anomalies. And we have like a lot of these interesting graphs over there, which of course on the screen you will see them one by one when the time comes. But definitely, yeah, definitely people were definitely tryharding in the game also, or should I say they were committed to the game, which was to be expected from this game. That's one of the reasons why I am so much interested in it, because of the commitment that all other players have. And it's gonna be challenging to be really challenging to be a known player in this game, or should I say, on the other hand, you can also be really famous if you do something crazy. And I am already starting to be afraid, because I wasn't quite the, well, I was quite the trigger happy player in Ivecos, honestly. Like when oh my god, like I have to pretty much rewatch some of my videos that I did. Like, I know in some of these videos I was overreacting on purpose because I wanted to get that comedic factor out, and I still have to train for that, but I think I decided to go with the serious route, because the serious route is definitely the better route. Personally, I enjoy a serious gameplay, and I will pretty much be more serious. Like, I know the first video that I did where I was on one-shotting Venturous, that was hilarious. I was trying to be funny, but I think people kind of didn't like that, so I will change, definitely. I see my mistakes, I know where I fucked up, so well, it happens to everyone, honestly. That was pretty much me experimenting with stuff. Well, about in a couple seconds you're gonna see the second graph. I think I already talked about the graph, pretty much talked in advance, but it doesn't matter. So you can see the anomalies, like, yeah, these are the anomalies over there. And it's really interesting to see that people were mostly doing the tier 1 and tier 2 anomalies, and as the difficulty got increased, it drastically dropped, which is really interesting. That means if you were doing higher tech anomalies, you had a smaller chance encountering other players, which is really interesting. And people were also mining belts. Belt 4 was the most mined belt. Really interesting. Really interesting. I don't know where these belts were located at, because like I said, I didn't mine that much. I didn't mine at all, actually. But I can definitely see myself having an alt that will be specialized in mining, because I think I will need someone that will mine, and I would need that in the official game when it gets released. And thankfully, I already have like 2 accounts. The account that's one of my accounts that got hacked, everything is alright now. It was my mistake because it got hacked, and everything on that account pretty much now is okay, and I will use it for further game accounts also. So I'm not worried about that much. Something that I like a lot, Serpentis the inspector cleaning, or the inspector anomalies. I personally didn't encounter a lot of them, I think. I don't remember. Anomalies that I personally did, most of them are Tech 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 were in the end. I played them also. And the reason why I didn't record them much, because it was kind of risky. I was, like I said, chased by players. I was the exception of the being safe in save and 8 tier anomalies. You might ask yourself, why were you chased in Ivecos? Well, let's say I have maybe more than 300 kills confirmed in that game, so yikes, just saying that. Really yikes. And yeah, I made some enemies probably. Some enemies who are maybe watching, I don't know. We will find that out on the official game release. But jokes aside, yeah, if you were doing 7 or 8 tier anomalies, you were pretty much safe. Like there were many people who were out there to get you, because most of them were in the lower tiers and pretty much at the low sec or the more secure low sec, which is okay. Again, we didn't have much time to develop to reach that deep into the game. Although we could, definitely you could do that. Like I said, that the person who was flying the Bargas, that's an expensive ship, and I'm definitely going to try to get one on the official game release. As long as a couple other ships that are my primary goal, that will be my primary goal. For example, the Macariel and ships like that are pretty much my goal. Mostly because I'm kind of bound to those ships. I've been with them for like years and years and years. Especially the Macariel, and even though I know that ship isn't so good, I like it, and if I use it, I'll use it for missions only, not for PvP. Like, that will be my chill out ship, definitely. Well, in a moment here we're about to see something really interesting. The money statistics, not the real money, but the game currency. Don't worry, which I think is really interesting to see where players actually spend money at, and we can kind of see where people are going to be oriented, what people are going to be doing, and what people are going to be focused on what things in the game. And well, you know, the interstellar currency, or ISK short. That's how I like to call it. And we have the pie graph over here. We have logistics, subsidy, we have system transfer, mission rewards, and what is this? Pirate's bounty, I think. Yeah, this is the pirate's bounty. And well, here we can definitely see something really interesting. Logistics is only 3%. I don't know what system transfer is. I guess I have no idea what that is, honestly. My brain stopped. Mission rewards 30%, and pirate's bounty 40%. Well, here you can see the ratting getting active again. People were ratting a lot. They were hunting, and yep, I was one of them also. Interesting. Let's see. Is consumption skill purchase, that was expected to be 35%. NPC order, pretty much buying stuff from the market. Broker's fee 11%, market transaction tax 15%, manufacturer 6%. So we can see during the beta people spent most on skill purchases and on NPC orders. Okay, interesting. Manufacturing was only 6%. Interesting that manufacturing skyrocketed during the final days of the beta. That was really interesting. During the final days of the beta, the manufacturing was sky high. Like, people were putting out ships like it's war. And that was actually impressive. We can definitely see that we can expect similar graphs in the live version of the game. Like, it's normal in the first 2 months or first month that people are going to spend most on equipment and on skills, while people will also be getting most of the money from mission rewards and of course from pirate's bounty. And of course, if you're lucky, I guess system transfer is pretty much the market when you buy stuff, or when you buy stuff, or when people buy stuff for you. So you get money or you give money, which is also again expected to see it at such early stages. We will see how the graphs will pretty much progress when the game gets released. I personally expect something similar, around something similar, because well, it's Eve. Like, we all know what people chase in this game. And after this we will have the kill mails and the kill ships. This is going to be interesting, which will show pretty much at how early the game actually was, at the stage as it was when it was actually closed. And well, we will see the graph in couple minutes. I just want to talk about more on the money and currency. I personally was hunting, I was doing missions, and I was pretty much selling items. So one thing that I personally did that was funny, when I was doing PvP, when I took out the miners, which I have like 100 of them probably, the equipment that they dropped, I usually sold back in the exact same system. Like I would take their ship out, loot what's left in the wreck. I would wait out the aggression timer and the criminal timer, and after that I would warp to the closest station possible where the prices are decent, and I would pretty much sell the mining equipment on en masse because I had so much kills, I had so much miners. It was funny, and it was really interesting that it actually sold really well. So I think the business that I had in Iveco's was pretty profitable. Like, you get fun and you get money at the same time. Like, I went from system to system, you know, I hunt players, especially like I've pretty much shot down anything that I could see, including cruisers. I pretty much shot everything down on site, and what's left in their loot, I would collect that, and if I need it, I would use it, but if I don't need it, or if I have plenty of it, I would sell it. And interestingly enough, I had so much that I think I could have even afforded to buy the ship that I pretty much wanted to buy, a worm or stuff like that, just by hunting players and selling their equipment, which was really, like I said, profitable. Was funny, was really funny, and it would also sell immediately. Like, I didn't wait too much and too long. Usually within an hour, everything that I put on the market would be sold, and even like the price at which I sold it wasn't that low. Actually, it was pretty decent, pretty to the, I guess, standard, and that was really interesting. So who knows, maybe I'll continue doing that in the official release. That's gonna be fun. I apologize for those players that gonna be on my kill list, but again, it's just a game. It's just a game, a fun one. Well, I think, yeah, there we go. Kill statistics. Okay, here we go. On the first pie chart that you can see, ship types: cruiser 14%, destroyer 28%, industry ship 8%. Yikes, those 8% is only me. Battleship under 1%, and frigate 49%. So people were flying frigates the most, and destroyer the second, and cruiser the third, and industrial ships 8%. Those 8% are pretty much probably all my kills. Oh man, now I feel bad about it. And well, again, like I said, you can definitely see that the game was still in its early stages, or maybe everyone was spamming worm. I think everyone was spamming worm. KM ship type: PvP, PvE, PvP and PvE 61%, PvE, PvP 29%, and PvP, PvE 10%. Pretty much when you kill players doing anomalies. That was, yep, I'm probably the vast majority of those percents there as well. Ship resistance, alright. Non 29%, shield 39%, armor 32%. Well, this is pretty even. This is really pretty even. Well, of course, shield will dominate above armor for obvious reasons. And unfortunately, we have 29% non, which, I don't know, kind of worrying, because that might be the case that people didn't know how to fit their ship, or just they decided full DPS and they had no resistance. Really interesting, really interesting. Well, what is this below? Okay, oh my god, this is the regions. The second graphic that you can see is the regions with most kills, and again, Lone Track is the first one with, let's see, 27,272 confirmed kills. Jesus Christ, people were ballistic over there. Okay, second one is Domain at 20,000, and third one, let's see, the third one, we have a couple of 14,000. Third one is The Forge, 15,000 kills. Alright, interesting, really interesting. And ship tech level statistics, it's the third graph you can see down there. Most were tech 1, okay, interesting. Then we have a drop at tech 2, then increasement at tech 3, then a drop to tech 4, and then a slight increasement to tech 5, and a drop to tech 6, and tech 7 really low, and 8 extremely only 800 and only 101 player, or 101 ship. Interesting. Ship faction. Okay, let's see which ship had most casualties. Jove ships had most casualties. Interesting. Then we have Caldari, and we have Galante, Amar, and Mimeter last. Oh, and we have Ore. Okay, 19,000 Ore ships got destroyed. Okay, nice. And poor miners, justice for the miners. And we have weapon types: missile, projectile, non-drone, hybrid, energy. Wait, what? How can none be the highest? That's weird. That's really weird. Now I'm kinda confused by the graph there. 77,000 none. Non-type. Well, interesting. We have strip miners, we have mining lasers, energy weapons. Well, the most popular was hybrid weapons. Interesting. Everyone looks like everyone loved Galante. Okay, and then drone. Energy then second highest, and then drone third. No. Then projectile has been third, and drone and missile pretty much the same. I was pretty much using missile the most. And economic, what is this? Ships and modules were the highest selling, I think. Oh, yeah, you will see that in the next graph. So as we can see, this was a pretty interesting little graph there. I'm really interested about the weapons, like how can there be none? What am I missing there? I'm definitely missing something big here. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think I am missing something big time over here. But again, hybrid weapons was mostly used. Interesting, because I was personally using hybrid weapons before I transferred to missiles, because I pretty much specialized myself at missiles. Missiles kind of proven to be the most effective way at dealing damage in solo PvP. Now, I think personally the most effective PvP ship definitely was the Worm. That thing was overpowered as hell. 400% damage on drone damage and 400% on drone speed. That was crazy. Unfortunately, I didn't buy that ship. I will buy it when the game gets released. Definitely, that's one of my goal ships as well. I can't wait for the game to be released. Honestly, like that game so far in the beta was amazing, and it had its problems, of course, but more of that maybe in another video where I will pretty much discuss about the performance related stuff of Ivecos and something really interesting regarding the hardware on mobile devices that we use, and pretty much one of the reasons why one specific hardware was pretty much faster than the other. That's also a really important topic which I like to cover, and I will cover it when the time comes. So we have a couple more of these graphs left. To be exact, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 graphs left. Pretty short ones, like you will see what I mean. Pretty much all other characteristics of what players did, but overall, the weapon definitely, drone and missile was definitely the most overpowered in Echo so far. Drones on the Worm, they were definitely the best. Like that was the highest DPS I think in the game. Well, we have economy and we have tech level. Well, on the economy we can definitely see that modules and ships definitely took the higher piece of the graph, while the second highest piece of the graph was materials and planet materials. Definitely I can see why. And modular blueprints as the last major graph, all of them in really interesting numbers. I like how, well, like I said, it was to be expected. The game is in such early stages. It was at such early stages that people were mass buying ships and modules and pretty much other stuff like materials to build ships, and they were of course doing planets to get materials, and of course we have also module blueprints because you need modular blueprints to make modules. That's pretty much an obvious thing. And then we have ship blueprints and ship debris, mining, and again stuff like that. Common goods is the lowest. Again, not surprising, it is to be expected, and something that I personally got surprised by, the drones aren't that high, even though I saw a horde of worms flying around. It was the most overpowered ship in the game, I think. Surprisingly, the amount of drones is pretty low. That pretty much means the worm wasn't that much abused. It was still overpowered, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't that much abused. And again, that's pretty interesting to know. And mining also is quite, quote me on that, low, even though there were miners everywhere. I think mining kind of got less popular by the end because of, because of people, shooting at each other. And tech level, again, we saw most were 1 and tech level 6. Then we have pretty much approximate number of tech level 5 and tech level 6, and tech level 5 and 7 are pretty much the same. 8 is the smallest number, 3 also smallest, and second is the second of smallest. Well, we have refining, and refining was pretty popular at the start of the beta, I think. And as time progressed, it kinda went down, but still you can see on the graph that people were mostly refined Wellspur and Scordite. Not surprised again, with the third biggest number was Plagosit. Okay, definitely having some flashbacks now. Definitely will be interesting to see this game live, just saying. And then of course we have other less important minerals. Well, not less important, they're all equally important, but those two that you can definitely see, Wellspur and Scordite, they definitely sold like candy. Definitely people were buying them and using them a lot en masse, and I can definitely confirm that because most of the kills that I pretty much had these ores inside of them. Not most, all of them, so it's no big surprise there. Manufacturing, alright, well, let's see what people were constructing. Surprisingly, rigs were the biggest and most popular thing manufactured in the Echoes beta. Really interesting, and of course industry ships are almost the same level as frigates and destroyers, with them being on the third place. Frigates and destroyers were the most popular, then cruisers on the third popularity, and then we have battle cruisers, extremely low because not many were out there. Industrial ships, like I said, Venture 1, 2, 3, they were pretty popular, and yeah, but none of them pretty much come close to the amount of rigs that were manufactured. It's like it's really like a big number. Well, and pretty much the final graphs, logistic and mining. Really interesting. You can definitely see the spike on the start of the beta. It spiked and then kind of went dead, and then kind of started to get popular again, and then again it dropped, and then it started to get popular again, and then it slowly kind of died out near the end. Definitely, I can expect more logistics in the official release. We will see how that will go. Mining was really interesting. At start of the game, you can definitely see mining being extremely popular. It peaked, and then something happened, and then yeah, it kind of went low. Then it spiked again, then it went kind of low, and then again spiked and low. So we can pretty much see mining in successions, or should I say mining in sessions. I sure hope it's not my fault because the graphs dropped there. Like I said, people were hunting miners en masse. I'm one of them, just saying. And well, that's pretty much it for all the graphs that we see in the game. And it's really interesting that the developers have given this out to us. Like I said, it pretty much gives us a glimpse of what people were doing, and it gives us a glimpse of what to expect in EVE Echoes. And so far, I am personally excited for the game, and I think many other players are. Like I said, a couple years ago, I jokingly said, I can't wait till we can play EVE on a phone. Well, 2019 came, and voila, our wish came true. Well, anyway, I hope this was informative, and well, I will talk to you soon. Take care.